Hello and welcome to your exhibitor portal. Today we're going to take a look at how to update, add content to, and get the most out of your public exhibitor directory. As I first log into my exhibitor portal, I'm here on the administration tab. And what I'll do is simply click over to the directory content tab and be able to see all of the different features available to me to add content and get the most out of that public listing. So we'll go through each of these features one at a time. Starting here on the top left, we see a section titled Your Public Directory Information. And the first thing I can do is edit my company logo. Now, if I take a look at my public directory listing right now, we see this generic logo in place, but I'm going to add my own company logo, something recognizable. And so I'll simply click in the image space here and be prompted to click or upload an image to act as my company logo. I'll choose this image here. And what I'll notice is that while I've chosen a square rectangular image, the space in which that logo will appear is a circular space. And so what the program is going to allow you to do is drag, zoom, and position your logo within that circular space using the mouse. Now, for a case like this, I might be able to zoom in so that my circle is entirely within the bounds of the image. But in my case, that cuts it off a little bit. So what I'll do instead is zoom out, make sure all the good bits of my image are within the circular space, and then choose a background color, which will fill in any of this space in the circle not occupied by my image. And so in this case, extending that white to the edges of the circle will be just fine. Here's my final product. And if I go back to my public listing and refresh the page, I see it appear here. Let's continue. Below that, I've got places to add my Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. Now here I've just put the generic links to the site, but an exhibitor is encouraged, of course, to put links to their own social media. And on the public directory page, we'll see that here at the top right. A visitor will be able then to click to your Facebook, your X, or to your LinkedIn pages. Beneath this, I have a little section called Directory Contact. Now, your primary contact information will be here on the administration page on the left and can be edited as needed. However, it might be that that information is not intended to be shared publicly or to be a part of this public directory. And so by engaging this feature, we can tell the program we want to replace that admin contact information with the information below. If any fields are required, they'll be starred in red and you'll not be allowed to save until you fill that space in. Otherwise, any optional field can be left blank or filled in as needed, and that will replace the public contact information on the previous page. Below that, I can add a public directory banner. Now, if I go back to my directory listing, I see that banner here with a charcuterie board as the default image. I, however, am going to put in something company branded, something recognizable to make my listing pop. And so I'll choose to edit my banner and again be prompted to choose or upload an image file to act as that banner. And just like the circular company logo, we have a wide and narrow space for that banner to fit within. And if I choose an image that doesn't exactly match those proportions, what I'm able to do is, again, resize and reposition and zoom and get my image exactly the way that I want it to appear. Here I might choose a different background color to fill in the edges, or I might zoom in so that my image is completely within those bounds. And then I simply save, refresh my exhibitor listing, and see now my custom banner. I also have a booth on the public floor plan. Now, from your administration tab, we provide a link to view that booth on the floor plan. And the wallpaper allows you to insert an image to replace the default color, a navy blue in this case, in that booth on the floor plan. And so we'll go ahead and, from our directory content page, browse for our wallpaper. Now, if you have multiple booths on a floor plan in an event, you can wallpaper each booth separately. In my case, I've only one to choose from. So I'll select my booth and then be prompted to, again, browse for that image file. Here I've got a good one. And just like the company logo and banner, in this case, the container for my image is actually the shape, the height and width of my booth on the floor plan. And so in a similar way, I can zoom, position, and scale this as I see fit. And if the best choice is to fill that unused space, let's say with a gray color, we can do so. I also have the option to hide the booth number or exhibitor name text within that booth. Now you see, of course, here on the floor plan, I've got my exhibitor name and my booth number displayed as text. My image actually contains the exhibitor name, so I think it's a good idea to go ahead and hide this text so it doesn't sit on top of and cloud up my image. My image, however, does not contain the booth number, so let's not hide that. When ready, I'll click the button to create that wallpaper. And when finished, I'll simply refresh the floor plan to see that change. Note too that after your wallpaper's been uploaded, it can be removed, replaced, and or edited or repositioned or sized as needed from the controls here. Here we have a space for a directory description. So this is going to be a place to describe your company, what they do, provide information, and to make that really stand out and give you some visibility and let the folks viewing the exhibitor directory know who you are and what you do. So at its most simple, this can be plain text. But you'll notice that also there are tools for doing things like bolded or underlined text, inserting clickable links or images into your description. And so this can be very, very detailed, very interactive, depending on how much content you'd like to appear. Just for the sake of example, let's go ahead and add some plain and some modified text and take a look at where that lands. So here, again, back to my public directory listing page, I'll refresh that, and I now have a new area to contain my company description. And so again, remember that that can be as simple as plain text or can include all sorts of formatting to stand out and look really nice. Below that is a place to add booth contacts. Now, as discussed before, we do have primary contact information available, which then by the exhibitor can be overridden with some additional or secondary or alternative primary contact information. But there may be some additional points of contact that you're more interested in showing to the public. Perhaps it's someone who'll be on site at the event working in the booth, or someone with whom an appointment could be made. And if we want to make those points of contact available and obvious for the visiting public, we can do so here. So let's go ahead and add ourselves a contact. Let's say we've got someone in our sales department, Sally Sales. In these screens, again, if any of these fields are required, they'll be noted with a red star. Otherwise, they can be skipped or added as necessary. And just for the sake of having some information in our example, we'll go ahead and add that, as well as an avatar or a picture, perhaps a headshot for this contact person. So I'll fill in that above, add the image below, and I now have a sales contact. Again, flipping back to my public listing, refreshing the page, I now see my sales contact. The visiting public then can order those if they desire. You also can order the contacts if you have multiples. So let's say we go ahead and add another one, a fellow by the name of Oscar who works in operations. Now that I've added these two, I can grab or drag each of these up or down and place them in any order that I want them to appear. Below that, we have a space for you to select from available product categories so that attendees or other exhibitors are able to find the right types of companies based on the categories to which they belong. So in this event, for example, uh, I have only one category available for demonstration purposes. There will likely, in most events, be several to choose from. In my case, I'll go ahead and select that, yes, I am a part of the gadgets category. And by choosing that, I do a couple of things. One is that on the floor plan, I find myself visible in the gadgets category list. Let's give that page a refresh. And now my booth and company are listed under the gadgets heading. Similarly, if I'm looking at a public directory page, I can see my company with my pub logo, can drop down and see the categories to which a company belongs. And what I can also do, again, as a member of the visiting public, I can actually go to a page that is sorted by category. So if I'm looking for a gadgets company, I can open the gadgets category and find your company among that list. At the top right, we have a space to upload products and photos and details for display. And so let's go ahead and add a product. So within that, I can do several things. At the top, for a beginner, this is a required field, is to have a main product image. And so let's go ahead and browse and say that today we're going to be showing off our DIY tornado kit. So here is my main product image. If I have additional images that I'd like to show for this product, I may be able to add them. And so let's go ahead and add an action shot as an additional product image. Of course, we need a name, which is the Do It Yourself Tornado Kit. And here, a place for a short description of that product. Here, a longer and more detailed description of the product. Along with, you'll note, the editing tools to be able to add formatted text, insertable, clickable links and image files and so forth. Along with formatted text. Again, the simplest of examples, but let's bold and underline that. And finally, a link to the product. In our case, let's just use something generic. Perhaps this would be a link to an order form or more information about the product on your website or something like that. And so we'll go ahead and submit, and I've got myself a DIY tornado kit. You'll note again that this can be dragged and ordered if you have multiple products. It can be edited or deleted as needed after submission. And so let's go ahead and again refresh our directory page. And here we see our product listing. So we've got a little heading with our main product image. And then as as a visitor, click into that product, I see the main image and the secondary images, as well as the way in which the product name, the short description, and the longer description for that product will appear. Second to last, we have the ability to upload a document that the attendee or fellow exhibitor who's viewing your directory page would be able to view or to access. And so let's go ahead and add a document. We'll see that we'll just need to provide the document itself, whatever we're trying to give access to our page visitors, as well as a name and a description. And let's say we've got ourselves our ordering catalog with description. And then again, we'll simply browse for that file. Here I've got a PDF that perhaps I'd like the visiting public to be able to download or to view in screen. And so we'll go ahead and submit that and see that now that document is available. Finally, we have a place to add additional social media links. Now, you'll note that one of the first things we did in the public directory info section here was Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. Of course, those aren't the only social media platforms available. And so we give you the ability to add additional social media links. And so here we'll actually just choose the URL for our social media page. We'll give it a name, like Instagram. And then we can search for an icon. You can search for something generic, but a lot of the more popular social medias do in fact have an icon on this list. And so if I start typing Instagram, I can see that a version of the Instagram logo is in fact available for me to choose. The link tooltip will be what pops up if one were to hover the mouse over this icon. A little bit of text would appear. So this might say, click to visit my Instagram page. And once again, we'll refresh my public directory listing and note that I now have a new icon along with Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. I've added now my Instagram link. And what we have now is a full and complete public exhibitor directory profile. How you choose to leverage that will be up to you. I hope you enjoy getting creative with some of the options that are available to you. Thanks and enjoy.